Hey YouTube, we're going to do a super fun video today. I went through and scoured some of YouTube's biggest YouTubers and found those that had gotten dogs somewhere in the last 6 to maybe 12, 18 months. And I thought it'd be fun to document in one place what puppies are some of the most popular YouTubers getting. So we're gonna break them all down. I've got 15 YouTubers and their new pups. And I'll stop and comment and give you some ideas about why each one picked the puppy they did and whether or not I think they're going to be happy with the choice. So let's get to the video.
Look at her. Good to see you. Oh, look at you. Hello. Oh my gosh, are you so cute? You got so big. You just keep growing. Stop growing. She looks great.
The first pup we want to talk about is the Border Collie. This is Zach George's choice, named the dog Inertia. Zach George got this puppy for a very specific purpose. He wanted to document his experience with a new dog and wanted to carry, and wanted to do a video series. If you haven't, check out his video series with Inertia. It's, I think it's the dog training experience is the specific playlist. But if you go to the links down below, I'll have links to his, not only his YouTube channel, but also the specific playlist. Zach George is one of the most, if not the most, one of the most popular dog trainers on all of the internet. And so when he picks a Border Collie, it really begs the question, why did he pick that particular one? And it's not just because they're super cute. A couple things you got to know about Border Collies. They are absolutely one of the smartest dogs out there. They're champion herders. Their origins date back to Scotland, right on the border. The reason for their name, collie is a Scottish word that means sheep or sheep herder, and border, these dogs flourished on the border of Scotland and England, and so hence the name Border Collie. They're super, super intelligent, and so that makes them relatively, well, it puts them definitely on the easier end of the scale for training. And so it makes it the perfect dog for Zach's channel and for his purpose with this playlist. Not only that, they're absolutely adorable dogs. They're extremely popular. So Zach George isn't the only popular personality out there that has picked the Border Collie as their pup of choice. Other famous people like James Dean, Queen of England, Tiger Woods, Ethan Hawke, and others have picked the Border Collie as their pup of choice. So Zach George and his Border Collie Inertia are where we're going to start the list. Let's get to our next YouTuber and their brand new pup.
Oh my gosh, he is adorable.
Hi.
Hey, big guy. Oh my gosh, a little boop on the camera.
Sorry. Do we need him? I think we do. Oh my god. He's so sweet.
Oh, the bracelets. Going right for the bracelets.
Oh, not the Cartier.
Expensive taste.
Maybe we'll get you a diamond collar.
Like James Charles, I absolutely love the Labrador. This was the easiest one for me to review, and it was the easiest one for me to understand. I'm not quite sure why James picked the Labrador. I watched the video and didn't really get any kind of an idea of why he leaned to this specific breed. But let me just share a couple of things that you ought to know about a Labrador Retriever. Number one, the Labrador Retriever is the most popular dog in the world and has been for 30 years. A couple of things to keep in mind if you're leaning towards a Labrador Retriever. Their diets, you got to be really careful, especially as they get older. There's some really fascinating studies suggesting that the part of the brain that tells us that we're full, dogs have this, and for most dogs it works relatively well, except in the Labrador Retriever. It's not uncommon for you to find some obese and overweight and out of shape Labradors. Scientists believe that that's because the part of their brain that tells them they're full, it quits working. As your dog gets older, James, you're going to want to make sure that you monitor how much and what he's eating. One of the biggest mistakes that people make with Labrador Retrievers is they feed them the normal amount, and then throughout the day they give them little handouts and little treats here and there, whether that's during training or just because they're such good dogs. Those calories will build up, and you'll find your pup with a little extra around the waistline. So if you're new to the dog owning world, a Labrador Retriever is a great place to start because their eagerness to please helps you kind of through a lot of those, the learning curve of learning how to train dogs. So James Charles and the Labrador, the Black Lab pup, what an adorable dog. So there's number 2. Let's get to our third dog.
Is it 4? Guys, is this a prank? Happy early Christmas, Yeager kids. What? This is our dog. Wow. I'm getting so much love. I would hug someone, but I got a dog.
The dog is a Yorkshire Terrier. There's some cool things about the Yorkshire Terrier. While most of them are prim and proper and used often in vlogs and Instagram stories like this because they're so adorable and they stay rather small. One of the things about the backgrounds of Yorkshire Terriers that most people don't understand is that they used to be used for chasing mice and rats down through tunnels. And there's one Yorkie even who is attributed with saving soldiers' lives in World War II. A little Yorkie named Smokey dragged a communications line through an 8-inch tunnel over 60 yards and is credited with being the first service dog. So the Yorkshire Terrier breed, also known as the Yorkie, has some kind of some pretty popular, some pretty famous roots and some claims to fame. When it comes to a Yorkie, one of the things that the Yeager's going to want to make sure that they do, and I'm sure they've done this, is just make sure that you get your dog really, really well socialized and get them really comfortable around lots of different noises, lots of new people. When you get your new puppy, that's not a time to quarantine for 6 weeks in order to keep your dog safe. I mean, if you've got health issues yourself, go ahead and quarantine, but that's not the time to get a dog. You want to get a dog when you can get out and have lots of new people coming over and meeting your puppy as young as possible. So socializations is going to be really important for any of you who are thinking about getting a Yorkie and following the Yeager's example. So
I've got someone I'd like you to meet. Please don't bite my hair for this part, babes. She's fascinated because I feel like a new mum and I've had my hair in a bun every single day since she came home. We don't bite here. She's going crazy. She's having a mad moment. So everyone, this is Sunny. She is a 9-week-old Cavapoo.
Are you okay?
No, I didn't record this part, but once we started driving, I started crying. I don't know why. It kind of just hit me that this was my dog and this was like my baby now and my responsibility and that she was going to be bonded to me.
all right, so there I ran 2 of them together because you've got both Fabulous Hannah and Alana who are the proud new owners of Cavapoos. And for those of you who aren't aware, Cavapoos are they're referred to as designer dogs. And the Cavapoo specifically is a mix between a poodle, usually a smaller poodle, and a Cavalier King Charles Terrier. And or spaniel, sorry, not a terrier, it's a spaniel. They're a pretty small dog, tons of energy. They're really they're becoming a more and more popular breed, especially for families who don't want a big dog who are going to knock kids over, but a dog that's still going to have a ton of energy and get out and be able to romp around, play with the kids. And then, when they're socialized and trained to come in the house and settle down and to be just a real successful part of the family. They're really well tempered, typically get along really well with other animals as well as all kinds of different people. They're very friendly. A couple of the drawbacks, like all the small breeds, you're going to have to watch for. You're going to have to watch and be careful with them because of a smaller breed. They have a higher probability of getting hurt around the house. The other thing to watch for with these is that they don't always do very well when they're separated from you. So if you've got a lifestyle that requires you to leave home for long periods of time and nobody's there, the Cavapoo may not be the best for you.
As you can see, we got a little puppy and he is just an absolute little dream. He's my little teddy bear. You can see how tiny he is. He's just a little peanut. Alright guys, this is our first time away from the owners with the puppy. And she's so cute.
Owners,
like,
you mean being with the new owner?
Hey.
Aww.
She just sits there. She's like a stuffed animal.
So this has got to be one of the cutest dogs I've ever.
Okay, so there's our second duo, two YouTubers that got the same dog, the Maltipoo. This is a cross between the Maltese and the Poodle. And just some quick facts, this is a phenomenal dog if you're looking for a dog that will do well in your home, that's going to do well with other people, do well with other animals. Even more so than the Cavapoo though, one warning is these dogs do not tolerate at all being alone. They really need to be with their people, with their pack. They need to have a lot of interaction. It doesn't need to, they don't have a huge exercise need. Like you don't have to go spend 45 minutes out in the yard playing fetch like you do with a Labrador or other big breeds. But you have to be there with the dog. If you're leaving home a lot and there's nobody there, this dog is going to experience some extreme anxiety, some separation anxiety. And when that happens, they can become destructive, they can become nuisance, a lot of barking, chewing, they'll have accidents. The biggest concern you have with the Maltipoo, if you're looking, is make sure that you can be home, make sure that you can be there with your pup.
I'm so excited and so happy, and I really wanted to make a video for you guys to meet her. Here is the new member of our family. She's about 9 weeks old, and she's just so cute. I don't have a name for her yet.
All right, so now we get to talk about the French Bulldog. Rosanna Pasino's French Bulldog is absolutely adorable, but some facts that you need to know about them. Number one, their cost. They're gonna be a little bit more expensive than most of the puppies on our list today. And part of that reason is because, amazingly, these dogs typically have to be artificially inseminated to have a litter of puppies. And so there are some huge vet bills long before the puppies are even born. So to recoup that cost, breeders are going to charge more for the pups. A couple of things to be aware of if you do get a French Bulldog. Number one, they can't swim, so don't take them out to the lake. Number two, they don't do well with high altitude or especially with flying, and that has to do with the shape of their nose because they have the shorter snout. They're extremely popular with popular people though. People like Lady Gaga, The Rock, Hugh Jackman, all have their little Frenchie.
I'm really excited. We are getting a Dalmatian puppy. When I say I've waited like my whole life for this, I'm not exaggerating. For a little nap, we've got 8 hours to get home now.
Okay, like Crystal, if you've ever watched 101 Dalmatians, you have had, at one point in your life, the thought of how cool it would be to own a Dalmatian, to own these dogs, these spotted dogs that are so common with fire trucks. These are such a cool dog. They're extremely versatile. They're extremely old. Nobody really knows what the origins are of these dogs, but some spotted dogs have even been found painted on Egyptian tombs. These dogs have no spots when they're born, and those spots develop as they get older. The other cool thing is that these spots become almost like a fingerprint, that no two Dalmatians are exactly alike when it comes to their markings. They typically do really, really well with other animals, actually, especially horses. They were one of the only dogs ever bred to do what they called coaching, and that is that in the old days of the West, they'd put these dogs out in front of stagecoaches, and they would race in front of the stagecoaches, barking, letting people know that the stagecoach was coming, and so people would get out of the roads and out of the way, making room for the horses so people wouldn't get hurt. Super cool little trait. But you do need to know one thing about these dogs, and it's not common in every line, but it is in some lines. Skittishness or even some aggression, protective behavior it does run in some of the lines, and so you need to be aware of that so that you can socialize your dog and get them really comfortable with strangers. Otherwise, you could have a dog that demonstrated some aggressive behavior towards strangers. Other than that, they're just a super cool dog.
Oh my god, he's so scared. Oh my god, stop.
Hey, I'm Lannon. You want to say hi? Say hi, you bloody legends. Say good day. So lads, this is Willa. You're going to be hearing a lot from him. He's going to be a little legend. So adorable. Oh, I'm going to cry.
Okay, now we get to Lazarbeam's puppy of choice, which is a miniature Schnauzer. These are kind of a cool dog. They're not like other terriers. They don't have the same aggression that other terriers might have, even though some of the dogs that were brought together to make the Schnauzer did have that high prey drive. There's two sides to these dogs. They can be on one day full of energy, bouncing off the walls, barking, yapping, and the next day they may just want to just snuggle down and be your best friend on a couch while you're watching a movie. They're very, very popular because of their distinguished look, that big long mustache. Some people believe that that mustache was used, it would get matted down with mud and such on the farms and places where they would be used for rats and other rodents, although it's not really common. But the thought is that those big mustaches would help protect them from any flashing claws or teeth. One thing to be aware of, these dogs are very vocal, and it's not always a nuisance noise for them. Sometimes they're just saying hi and just saying that they're really, really excited to see you. So as long as Lazarbeam and everybody that lives with Lazarbeam are excited for the dog and can put up with a little bit of extra barking and extra noise around the house, they're probably going to really enjoy this addition.
We have my baby. Oh, I guess I can take my mask off. Oh my god. I can't believe this is real. He's so tiny. Look at him. What's he doing? He's not shaking or anything. He doesn't seem like scared.
Hi, sweetie.
Look at you.
And he loves you.
I think I'm in love with him. I love him so much.
Oh my gosh, look at him rest his little head by you.
Oh my gosh. I'm gonna
So
cry. I'm literally gonna cry. Oh my gosh. Alright guys, so this is Benji. Say hi, baby. He's so perfect. His eyes are a lot like mine. They're like a hazel green blue color. He is the most beautiful dog. We're about to be home. Luckily, the lady was super close to us, but oh my.
Okay, so the next YouTubers, just Jordan 33 and Lexi Hensler. They're our final duo, meaning that they picked the same pup, and they both went with the Australian Shepherd. The Australian Shepherd comes in a lot of different colors. The things you got to know about it, number one, is that it used to be a herding dog, and that it's pretty strong-willed, and they're very, very intelligent. These dogs are commonly seen in the agility test because they're super athletic. But the downside is that sometimes their pushiness, sometimes their bossiness, that made them great sheep herders. If you're not careful, that can kind of rear its head in your family, and you'll notice that your Australian Shepherd might try and start herding your kids or the neighbor's kids. The other challenge with these can be that for a first-time dog owner, because they are so intelligent, sometimes they'll kind of push the limits, and if you're a little hesitant with your training or if you're not sure what to do, they may just decide that they don't want to follow your direction or your lead. So sometimes that can be a challenge if you're a first-time dog trainer. Keep that in mind before you just jump in and follow Jordan and Lexi and get an Australian Shepherd.
We're not in Austin.
We are not in Austin. Why is that, my love?
Because
We are getting a puppy!
we're getting a dog.
We've been wanting, oh you guys, we have been wanting another dog for so long.
He is just chilling.
Here you go, honey.
Give me this little thing.
Here's your son.
Oh
Here's
my
your little
goodness.
son.
Oh my goodness. Ah, look at him.
It looks like Gero and Paeka got themselves a Corgi. They're actually herding dogs, which is really hard to believe because they are really small. 12 inches is kind of their max height. In fact, the word Corgi means dwarf dog, and they really are, that really is what they are. 12 inches is at their max height. They're really, really small. However, this made them perfect healers for cattle and to keep cattle moving. If you get yourself a Corgi, you'll notice it walking around, especially with small children. If you start running or anybody starts running, that's going to initiate the Corgi's healing desire. And so you're going to want to train that out of your Corgi as soon as possible. They are pretty loud. They bark a lot. That's how they vocalized. And for their size, their bark is usually much, much bigger than you would think. It can be a little bit more difficult for a new trainer to get a Corgi to pay attention if you're not really certain about your training techniques and how you want your dog to perform and how you're going to train them. That is one challenge that you want to be aware of.
Got it done because before we got the paper. Before we got
Say bye to the farm life. You're gonna be a city girl now. Say bye. You're gonna be a city girl. You belong there.
She's so tiny.
I can't.
Like, she's the size of your hand.
Stephanie got herself a Teacup Poodle. This is the smallest of all the breeds that we are going to talk about, that we're going to talk about today. And like all the other small dogs, the Cavapoos, the Maltipoos, there's a real serious concern with helping this dog avoid getting hurt. These dogs, because they're so small, and they are really popular on social media platforms because they're so stinking cute, we want to put them in places like their purse, or put them in the car, or take them with us. However, they're extremely fragile, and so you've got to be very, very careful. Make sure that you are always aware of where they're at. If they get stepped on, or if they get left in a purse or left in a car, what other dogs could endure and live through might be the end of one of these little teacup poodles. On the flip side of that, these little dogs, they're just kind of fun because size-wise, it almost seems like they stay puppies forever.
We are getting a new puppy. I cannot wait. I feel like a kid at Christmas. And we're getting ready to leave here shortly, like literally a half hour from now. But if you don't know already, we currently have a Cavalier King Charles Spaniel who we love and adore. I am so in love with this breed. They are very affectionate, loving dogs, but I feel like she needs a companion. She is very playful, and I think she would do very well having a playmate.
This is the smallest of the Spaniels, but one of the biggest of the toy breeds. You're going to get to 12 to 14 inches, somewhere like that. Technically, this is a sporting dog. It's been used for flushing and retrieving birds. However, with its size, you can imagine you're kind of limited in the kind of birds you're hunting with this dog. But as we move into the modern age, these dogs really aren't being used out in the field as much as they are to just cuddle up next to you on the couch. They're extremely fun-loving. They get along well with other animals. They don't shed as bad as some of the other sporting dogs do. These dogs don't do well if left alone. If you leave these dogs alone, they're going to have a tendency to bark a lot, to get a little destructive, chew, tear, dig, and a lot of this, most of their negative behaviors, however, can be resolved if they're getting enough exercise and enough mental stimulation. Okay, YouTube, so there are 15 of some of the most popular YouTubers out there that got new dogs in the last year, and the kind of dogs that they got. Before you run out and just get the same dog as your favorite YouTuber, make sure you understand the pros and the cons, the needs of each breed. I hope this video helps you in that journey a little bit. Keep watching our channel as I plan on doing some follow-ups. I'm going to reach out to each of these YouTubers and see how things are going, and I'll give you some follow-up in the next video. So make sure you subscribe, click the little like button down below, and I'll see you in our next video.
Thank you.